What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk fucking camera angle. I want to get that light in there. It kind of looks like a ghost or something of it. Today we're going to talk about Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I've been getting some emails and messages, and I kind of held off purposely to make this video a little bit to see how it unfolded, because I wanted to see whether or not I was right and how I piece things together. So, if you guys don't know, Philip Seymour Hoffman was an actor in Hollywood. He was in Mission Impossible. He's in the new Hunger Games, The Girl Who Catches Fire, and I believe he's in the next one that's about to come out, like, next year or whatever. He finished making the film. Or they made enough of it so they can release it. And, what else? Along Came Polly, I think was the other one he was in. He played the actor. I forget his name, but he played, like, an actor who did do like, a play or something. And, he died of a heroin overdose a couple weeks ago. And, it's weird because, obviously nobody's paying attention to what was going on before this, because all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, he died of heroin? Well, yeah, he was in rehab before for heroin because he was sniffing it and he knew he was about to start injecting it. So I think that it was smart on his part to kind of go, okay, I need to get into rehab. But doesn't matter who's in rehab trying to help you. You have to decide whether or not to put that needle in your arm the first time. Now, once you put that needle in your arm to shoot up heroin, it's not your decision anymore. It's really not. I know many people go, oh, he's fucking stupid, and you're stupid if you put the needle in your arm. Yes, if you put the needle in your arm the first time, you made a stupid choice. You're not stupid, but you made a stupid choice. And after that, it's no longer your choice. Your choice is taken away from you. That drug gets in your blood, hits your brain changes like that, it's done. It's a done deal. If your brain's mapped that way. Some people, their brains are mapped more for speedy drugs like cocaine or meth, and they can do heroin and not get hooked on it, but, it just depends on how the person's brain is mapped, and his was mapped for opioids. Now, myself being a former heroin addict, or still a heroin addict recovering, you can never say that you're a former, because as soon as you do that, you lose control of what's going on around you, and you can relapse. So I'm well aware of what goes on in my brain day to day, a fight that I may or may not know what's going on. And, this guy apparently hadn't been shooting it for very long. Well, we don't really know because he's dead now, so we don't know. But after he passed away, there were different news stories that came out about him in a bar, and he was walking back and forth to the bathroom quite frequently, and it looked shady. So it was to the point where it looked shady to people. Now, let's face facts. You're a bartender. You know when people are going in there doing coke. You know when people are going in there to pee. I mean, it's common sense once you see it over and over again that somebody's doing something there besides peeing if you're going there every 10 minutes, okay? So he's at the bar drinking. He's probably sniffing coke in the bathroom. I don't think he was probably shooting it there. And then another time he got on a plane all fucked up and kept going back and forth to the bathroom on a plane. How the fuck did he get dope on a plane? There's dogs, there's security, there's scanners, there's all kinds of shit. How the fuck did he get heroin on a plane? That's my question. I mean, I've seen the drug dogs at the airport. If they catch wind of something, they alert the national, whatever it is, the NSCA, National Strength, the National Security Association. And, they alert the police. So he got it on the plane. So now there's a picture of him actually, passed out. They call that nodding off. So now he's to the point where he's doing it frequently, sniffing it. He's going to move on to shooting. And I don't think he had been shooting it very long again because of the fact that he was buying bricks, which a brick is 50 bags of heroin. A brick is what a dealer has. A heroin addict doesn't have a brick. And he had multiple bricks at his house when it was found after he died. So that means that he was getting ready to go on a bender, and he thought he needed all that. And you need a lot less when you shoot it than you do when you sniff it. So I don't think he really understood how to translate, well, if I do 5 bags sniffing, I probably need 1 or 2 when I'm shooting. Nobody really told him that. So when the police entered his residence and they started investigating, they found a couple bags in the bathroom, a couple in the kitchen, one in the living room. They found him dead with a needle in his arm, which means he shot up, passed out, and never came out of it. It was too much. He took too much. Now, what tells me that he had just started the bender is they only found 5 or 6 bags used. Any heroin addict's been on a bender that used a lot of heroin, there would have been fucking bags all over the place. They would have found them everywhere, and they would have been used. Instead, they found mostly full bags wrapped up as bundles in bricks, and just a few of them here and there, which means he had just started doing what he did. Otherwise, there would have been more stuff all over the place. And it took, and I knew, I said, you know what, there's got to be something, because I'm starting to hear these things now. I keep pretty regular tabs on the drug scene as far as what's going on, because I'm interested in to see how it's progressing. It's spreading now faster than it ever has. I mean, of course, actors and actresses in Hollywood and rock stars, they've always had access to drugs. But now it's starting to, and well, not saying starting, it did when I was doing it, filter down to like these suburban towns in little America. I mean, Warren, Rhode Island, where I'm from, that's like the littlest town. I mean, if you look at the state on the map, it's the smallest little speck of a fucking state in the entire U.S. And I lived in one of the smallest little speck of a towns in that state. So this is one of the smallest towns in the entire fucking country. And it was flooded with heroin when I was there doing it. And the autopsy will tell how much was in his system. But they're thinking that he got a hold of this specific type of heroin that is laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl is a painkiller they give you like in your end stages of cancer. I mean, my dad had it when he was going through radiation. My mom stuck the patch on him. It fucked him up so bad within an hour. They had to take the patch off him. He said he thought he was dead. He said he actually thought he had like left his body. He was so fucked up. That's how bad this shit is. And you know, people will like, they'll eat the gel that's inside the patch to get fucking high, and it kills people. Well, now apparently there's a powdered source or a pill source or something that they're adding to this heroin to give it more of a punch. Now what they do is they add it to the heroin for a while. You get this great punch. It doesn't really increase the profit or decrease the profit margin at all, and it gets a reputation. These heroin gets a reputation with these little stamps on it, like of, you know, cards or whatever the fuck kind of little picture is on these bags, and the junkies know. They go, oh, you know, superstar or whatever. So when they hear someone's got superstar, they go buy it from them. And then what they do is they actually take the fentanyl out and it becomes regular heroin. And it's still good dope, but it's not the same shit that they had before, and now they have a following. So they basically kind of use it to pixie dust or spike their product to get a following. In Rhode Island, which is where I'm from, there was something like 22 deaths in the span of 2 weeks in Rhode Island. I just saw this in the news report the other day. And out of those 22 deaths, like 19 of them were overdoses on heroin. And out of like the 19, I think it was something like 17 had the fentanyl in the dope. Which means this shit's making its way. That's Rhode Island. This guy lives in New York. So it looks like that northeast area is being flooded with this shit. And the problem is you don't know how much is in there. They don't fucking, drug dealers don't measure it. They just sprinkle it on there. They give you too much and you're dead. So basically what my thoughts on this whole situation is, I mean, people are making a big deal out of Philip Seymour Hoffman. You know how many friends I got that died of the fucking same thing? And nobody mentions them ever because fucking they're not stars. So it's not something new. It's not like amazing to me. It's not shocking to me. It's normal life to me that I see somebody overdose on dope. I mean, it happens, and it happens frequently. But it's not going to stop. You know, as long as this shit's out there, people are hooked on it. It's not going to stop. It's going to get worse. They're going to find, you know, look at the shit, people shooting that crocodile shit. That, you look that up, Russian crocodile drug that's fucking eats you from the inside out. I mean, it's just, when you're hooked on drugs, you're hooked on drugs, and there's not much you can do until a switch turns on that you want to get clean and stop this shit yourself, and you start going down that road yourself and doing it for yourself. But, you know, guys like this guy, the worst thing for a junkie, a heroin addict, a coke addict, whatever, the worst thing is to be rich. Because you have all the money in the world to buy all the fucking dope in the world, and I guarantee you're going to take too much and OD. That's just how it is. So, my advice, guys, is know the shit's out there. Don't do it that first time. That's the smart thing. Don't do it that first time for whatever reason. I mean, none of us start out to be a junkie. None of us set out to be fucked up. None of us set out to ruin our lives over a fucking drug. But it happens. It happened to me. And I don't think of myself as an idiot. I mean, sometimes I'm stupid, but I'm not an idiot. You know, I grew up, you know, in a town that was very plain, very vanilla. There was not much going on. And this shit invaded that town like that. And now I'm hearing it so... Well, the camera shook me, snapped my fingers. Now I'm hearing it spread so much that... And I'm seeing shit like this. I mean, this is just the first of things to come, guys. So pay attention. Watch out. You know, watch out for your kids. Watch out for your nephews. Watch out for nieces. Everybody that you care about. Because this shit's invading, and it's becoming like a fad now in some places. Especially where pills are big. They're running out of prescription pills. And now they're really starting to lay the smackdown. So they got Oxycontins that they're not prescribing anymore, the Vicodins, all that shit. They're not prescribing that stuff anymore in abundance because they know people are getting fucked up. It's a problem. So now what's happened is those people that have that problem are moving to heroin. And that's when all the deaths are going to start. Biowestertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biowestertraining.com is the blog, and where R.I.P. Philip Seymore Hoffman, and we're out.